Hi, my name's Eric Wilson. I'm an independent licensed mechanic with 30 years of experience. In the next 6 to 7 minutes, I'm going to show you the inside story on this 2013 BMW X5. Now, coming in on the front right tire, you got about 40% tread. So down, but definitely not out on all season radios. So this is your upper left, this is your upper right ball joint. It is tight, critical, because it's one of the it's part of the suspension. Now if you look inside here, this is your spring suspension. Now if this tube right here is full of oil and if it was leaking, you'd see it right away. So that's important because that's the shock absorber inside of the spring suspension. That is tight, suspension is dry. And then coming behind the front right tire, I'm going to show you the condition of your okay. Now this is your outer tie rod, and this is the most critical thing in the entire car because it's the only thing that holds the wheel to the steering, and it is tight. The lower ball joints right here. Now this is your lower ball joints, and BMW, you know, God bless the Germans. They don't put one, they put two, which is overkill. But hey, it's all good. And this is tight, and that is tight, critical, because that is a big part of the steering suspension. Your sway bar link connected from here up to there is intact and doing its job. Your CV boot, now a little harder to see this, but this rubber boot right there is full of grease. That's the CV, and if it was ripped, you see grease all over the place. Now that is not ripped, and that's important. So brake wise, suspension wise, leak wise, I'm not seeing anything of any concern so far. Now this is the bottom of the transmission right here, and this is the leak point. If it was going to leak, you'd see it right here, you'd see it right across here, and I don't see any leaks whatsoever. Just a quick shot, harder to see, but bottom of the motor there, again, another leak point would be up inside the bottom of the motor there, and see for yourself, good and clean. Okay, the right rear tire, I think about the same, about 50 to 60 tread, but you got some weather cracks. You see the cracks in there? Okay, these tires are weather cracked. So I'm going to recommend that you get 4 new tires, because, or 4, you know, not new necessarily, but they're definitely weather cracked. Okay, so which is not a good thing, and they're down. So I'm recommending all 4 tires. So that's so you're aware of. Now your rear brakes, you've got about 30,000 K. Oh yeah, 30 to 40,000 K on your rear brakes, and your rotors are very clean. So lots of good brakes. Okay, on your front brakes, you've got about 30,000 K as well, and your rotors are good and clean, so brakes are not an issue with this thing for a long time to come. Okay, coming behind the front, the rear right tire, this is your spring suspension right here, or your shock suspension. This is full of oil. If it was leaking, you'd see it right away, so that is good and dry. Your right sway bar link connected from there to here. Your lower bulge, your lower control arm, right there is intact. Your upper control arm right here is good and tight. So suspension wise, I'm not seeing any issues. You're a little harder to see the inside there, the CV boot, that rubber CV boot, like same as the front. Again, you see for yourself, good and dry. Another leak point, if it was going to leak, would leak right in here, okay, because this is where the drive shaft comes out of the diff, and you can see for yourself, this is the diff, and good and dry. You'd see oil right away. So I'm not seeing any leaks. Leak wise, suspension wise, brake wise, no issue so far. Definitely tires, because the cracks are pretty evident, and that's not safe. Okay, coming on the front left tire, again about 50% tread. Again, yeah, like just your wear, okay, your wear pattern here, okay, like you got your wear on the outside here. Yeah, so I'm definitely, you're gonna have to change up your tires, because just this, you got a wear cut in the on the right side of this tire. And you also might want to, and I also recommend check the alignment as well, because I mean, when you got wear like this, it usually indication that it's needing alignment. So definitely check out your alignment. So 4 tires in alignment so far. And then this is your left upper control arm, and it is tight. Your left sway bar, your left suspension, again, your spring suspension is intact, and if you're looking inside there, you see if it's going to leak, you see the leak right there, good and dry. 30,000 K lots and lots of brakes, rotors are clean. The coming behind, the left outer tie rod is tight, critical. The lower ball joints, right, the front and lower, back and front lower ball joints are intact and tight. Your sway bar link connected from here up to there. Okay, so that is intact. Your outer, you know, your, if you look at your CV boot there, a little harder to see there, but good and dry, so no issues with that. I am not seeing any leak points here at all. I don't see any leaks from the tranny, from the motor, from anywhere. I'm not seeing leaks, which is good. Nobody wants oil on their driveway. So yeah, so that's what she's looking like so far. Okay, and on the left rear tire, down but not out. But again, you got the weather cracks, and that just doesn't make for safe tires. So your 30,000 K on your rear brakes, rotors are nice and clean. Coming behind the rear left tire, you've got your spring suspension, your shock suspension, good and dry. Left sway bar link connected. Your left outer CV boot, a little harder to see inside there, but again, if it was ripped, you see grease all over the place. No leaks. The upper ball joint is tight. Lower ball joint is good and tight. And the other place, if it was going to leak, it would leak right there, because that's the inner CV boot, and if you see for yourself, it would be oil all around that and bone dry. Your exhaust intact and clean, no issues with that. Yeah, so I'll take you up, show you the condition of the motor now. Okay, with the motor running, you've got 144,046, no cracks in your windshield, dash nice and clean, no check engine lights. The AC is, oh yeah baby, oh, nice and cold. Now I'm going to take you out and show you the condition of the motor. Okay, you got your twin turbo, which means a lot of power. Okay, and I am not hearing anything of any concern in this motor running. Shot of the exhaust was running. A little bit of a tuned exhaust there, but very clean. Now, the one thing I check on every car before I even do anything is I first of all pull off the oil cap and I look for what I call mayonnaise. It's if it was white goo, there'd be an indication of an internal leak, and you can see for yourself that is clean. And I'm not surprised, low kilometers, but my estimation of this vehicle is mechanically, body-wise, run-wise, good. Other than 4 tires and because of weather cracking and possible alignment, I'm not seeing anything of any concern. Hopefully this will help you make an informed decision. Now, Dimitri, who owns the vehicle and is the seller, is prepared to do this for any vehicle because he's got nothing to hide, and he just wants to make sure that you know exactly what you're getting when you get it. Now, the other thing is that Dimitri is also prepared to do is give you a free 10% fuel saving device. I've done it for 20 years. All he could do is just send you to me, and I'll do that for you. It doesn't cost you a penny, and I mean 10% is 10%, folks, and it's free, and it never ever stops working. So anyway, hopefully this will help you make an informed decision, and have a good one.